Hey everybody, this is Glenn from Glenn Reptiles. I've been putting together a few videos of some of the snakes in my collection, and I want to kind of continue doing this till I get all of the different animals on tape so people can see the collection through the different videos. Today we're going to do a little bit of a rat snake edition, and so I want to show you some of the rat snakes that I have. I want to start off with my Chinese beauties. So here is my yearling Chinese beauty snake. She is a pretty snake. Probably most people are familiar with beauty snakes and just their look. But here is this girl. And I got these from Larry Keller. I think Larry is Prairie Land, something like that. Prairie Land Herps, something like that. So anyway, I got this girl, but the real reason I got her is, one, I love the look of a beauty snake, but I like the unique morphs that they have with Chinese beauties, and in particular the one that Larry calls hypo calico. And let me show you the other female, other yearling female. And you'll see the dramatic difference in pattern and color. So this is, again, Chinese beauty snake with both hypo and calico traits. Hope she's not getting bleached out. So anyway, you can see, some people think these guys look like palmettos. Interestingly, they do not. I know they have a general appearance like a palmetto corn snake, if you're not familiar with that term. Let me show you my palmetto corn, and you can see, I hope you can see, these guys, palmettos are much whiter, and their dots are much smaller. These guys will have sort of patches in place as well. And obviously their heads are very different. And so they are really not as much alike as oftentimes people will say. But yeah, palmetto corn snake making a special guest appearance in the rat snake edition. And here is the Chinese beauty. I will do a corn snake video at some point, but most of my corns are in brumation right now. I'll show you my male that is also hypo calico. He is my best feeder, as often males are. See if I can try to make this a little lower contrast. I think you can see his pattern there. Oh, here he comes. Gonna get in my mouth. So yeah, they're fun snakes. You know, they explore, but they're not excessively jumpy. They don't bite. They don't musk, which are two very strong rules in my collection. But yeah, they're inquisitive. And they're super attractive and interesting snakes. So there's my Chinese beauty snakes that I have. And one of the things you'll notice is with the exception of just a couple of types of animals, I don't have a lot of any particular thing. I do have a reasonable number of corn snakes, bulls, and gophers. But most everything else, I just have very small numbers of them, just because I enjoy keeping certain animals. So the other one I want to show you is my Dione rats. I'll start with this super pretty girl. This is a female. She is super bright. These guys are super fun. They're just always interested in what's going on, and they're always super mellow. I mean, this guy will start climbing out and out of the tub when I go to close it, and I go to you know, normally I just touch one of the snake's heads and they pop it back in, you can close it. You touch this girl's head and she just stays right there. She doesn't mind you touching her head. So yeah, they're just really seemingly intelligent, fearless snakes. And so this one is called a super red, which is a Dione that has the red pattern but has a stripe trait and extra bright red. There is evidently a super form of that super red, which is even brighter and lighter. It's sort of, it would look like that snake, maybe we would call it a hypo version. That's not what it is, but that's what it would look like. So it's even brighter and lighter. And that's called a red glow, if I'm remembering correctly. And then this is more the normal pattern, and it's referred to as a tiger, which I like that terminology. But this girl's just a great snake. She's also heading into shed. They're great feeders. They're fun snakes. They stay pretty small. These guys are, I think this girl may be 2 or 3, but they're closely approaching breeding age and size, so not too far from now. So super fun animals, really. Not only are they pretty, but I think their personality kind of also makes up for that. There's something going on there. This is my male. He is also a super red, but a much darker version. You can see compared to that female super red, he's more of a blood red looking male. But you see, they all have the same personality. They just hang out. They really should be more popular in the trade. They're just super great snakes for keeping. So there's, I've shown you my Chinese beauty snakes, my Dione Rat Snakes, and then probably the fan favorite is the Rhino Rat Snakes. So let me show you a couple of my females. Here's one adult female. These guys are very popular, and you can see why. They're beautiful. They've got that fascinating unicorn nose. They are very mellow in, you know, to hold. You see she comes right out of her tub. She's not tank aggressive. They're ridiculously green. And, you know, they just kind of pretend like they're a branch most of the time. So very beautiful animals. Both of my females are proven. I lost my male this past season, so I am searching for a new adult male, but I think I have one. I'm working with Rob Stone, who's the man when it comes to these guys, and I think he's going to hook me up. We'll see. Maybe I'll give him a good report. Maybe I'll give him a bad one. Rob, if you're watching this, you maybe want to treat me right. But no, he's a great guy. He's been fantastic to work with, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can work out. But so here's one of my females. You never grow tired of looking at these snakes. Here's my other proven female. And I guess in addition to showing you the animals, I'll give you a little bit of some of the lessons I've learned on some of them. This one has a little more blue. I'm not sure if you can see it, but she's definitely got more teal blue in her patterning and that kind of under the scales. But I think you'll be able to see she also has like black scarring on her, on much of her scales. And that is the byproduct of the fact that they love to sit in their water dishes, and they love to defecate in their water dishes. And if you do not get on it, they'll sit in dirty water for days on end. And if you don't keep them clean, they will get this scarring that you see. And so as a young keeper of these guys, having not a lot of experience, I didn't pay as close attention to that as I should have, and she ended up getting some scarring here. But I try to check every day and make sure, especially on days that I know it's about time for them to be going to the bathroom, and make sure that if there is ever their water is the least bit dirty, I know they're going to get into it, I make sure it is clean. And I also clean the animal after that as well. So that's a little tip that maybe will help you from running into a problem. I'm seeing right now that this girl needs some help getting the final bit of shed off of her tail, which I'm glad I'm doing this video because I wouldn't have noticed that otherwise. So I will do that after the video. I'm going to wrap up with two babies that I produced. And actually they were produced August 30th of 2019. And these guys were so slow to get feeding that it took me a while to get them going. And now this is the female, and she's developing her green. They start out like a brown-gray. And you can see she's definitely developing green now. They develop this cool yellow. In fact, the yellow develops before the green usually. And so they're gray and yellow at some point, which is pretty cool. But you can see their behavior, their look, just like their parents. I'm holding on to this girl and her clutch mate male. And hopefully that male will be able to enter back into the breeding program when he's big enough. The male's not quite as old, not quite as big. He's exactly the same age. But he was even harder to get going. Oh, but he is deep in shed. He's deep in shed, but he is more of a gray-brown. You can see he was in his water dish. But they're just fun little animals. A little bit challenging to get feeding when they're babies. But there's a few tricks out there. Some I thought would work great, and these guys were a little more challenging than I thought they were, but I know there's a lot of people out there who have a few good tricks to getting these things going, so I'm hoping to do a better job with my next clutches. So anyway, they're my rat snakes. Hope you guys are doing well, and look forward to chatting with you next time. Be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it, and it's not a big deal. I'm not making any money or anything. I just want to have people watch videos that I make, or else I'm just wasting my time. Have a great afternoon, you guys, or whenever you're watching this. See you later.